Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie, and this is my family, my partner Jimmy, and our two kids, Mally and AJ. This is our house, and it's been more than a house. With walls and a roof, it's our sanctuary. It's where we've celebrated birthdays, shared quiet evenings, and built countless memories. It's the home we've poured our hearts into. A year ago, everything changed. On December 26, 2024, our home caught fire. What happened after has left us in a terrible situation, and we can't seem to catch a break. That morning, my car was repossessed after a late payment caused by a delayed payment on one of our cleaning contracts. I had the money and planned to pay after the holiday, but they took it first thing in the morning. So I was in my office doing research on what I could do when I heard a loud bang in the garage. When we opened the garage door, you can see smoke and flames engulfing the entire garage. Jimmy moved fast. He got us out and the puppies out, and he knocked out a lot of the fire before first responders arrived. I know without a doubt that we would have lost everything if it wasn't for him and his quick thinking. The fire was mostly contained to our garage, but smoke damage spread through the house and our belongings. Our things stayed inside for weeks, making us a target for looters. We've had several break-ins starting on December 31st, and they've continued up until last week. SafeCo, our insurance company, scheduled a joint walkthrough with their adjusters. It was overwhelming to see all my things rummaged through and missing, scattered all over, but they reassured me everything would be okay. They asked me to take note of special items like my Mayan artifacts and promised that everything would be handled the way they wanted their things to be handled. That now is a complete lie. Later, a couple weeks later, I stopped by the house and I saw how Phoenix had packed my contents and the horrific scene. They had most of my personal belongings stacked carelessly, broken, thrown in black trash bags, mixed along with some of their crew's coffee cups and their work trash. Meaningful papers, my late father's things, some film, undeveloped film, and my Mayan artifacts. Things that were in my office that were not broken or damaged were now broken. I sobbed in anger. I did include some of the photos here. As you can see, Phoenix treated my things like complete garbage. I documented everything and emailed the insurance company. They responded and made me feel dismissed. They were surprised that I had went through my non-salvage items, even though they were the ones that told me I could do that. I would never recommend using SafeCo for your insurance, for your homeowner's insurance, or Phoenix for your restoration company. They apologized, but they blamed me for their employees' actions. I began questioning Phoenix's role. After fighting about my damaged artifacts, they did offer to get my artifacts cleaned. That would come out of my personal contents allotment with the insurance company, even though Phoenix was the one who damaged them. I then learned that Phoenix was paid $72,000. Basically, I thought SafeCo had to pay them, but it came out of my personal contents policy limit. So basically, they trashed $132,000 of my items. They deemed them as non-salvageable. Paid Phoenix $72,000 to not even clean, to not even pack my things nicely. Basically, they paid this company $72,000 out of money that should have been ours. I asked for a manifest document, which basically shows the things of ours that they threw away, damaged, when, and how. I never got that. I did emails, I filed a discrimination complaint, and those things got us nowhere. They concluded that my total content loss was $132,000. Phoenix was paid $72,000 of that. I had gotten a $5,000 work order for cleaning my Mayan artifacts. I was able to approve that request. I should have gotten that same kind of request with Phoenix, where I would have denied $72,000 out of our money going to Phoenix, who could care less about me or my situation or my things. However, SafeCo said that I had signed something that authorized them to pay Phoenix. I never got an answer as to why I was given a work order for the $5,000 amount, but not the $72,000. SafeCo remained steadfast that they did nothing wrong. Despite all of this, I did stay hopeful about the repairs in our home because I hired a contractor, Hector, who seemed kind and helpful. Funds were released through our mortgage company, and multiple inspections put our repairs at 51% complete. I felt like the worst was behind us, but I was wrong. In October, I noticed things weren't adding up. Most of the times I checked on the house, no one was there, and I was looking for a specific set of tires and rims for my truck. One morning, I found Hector there with several people, the garage full of copper wiring, my tires and rims missing. He denied any responsibility and had no answers. I left and returned with my family less than an hour later, but my Range Rover was gone, and so was Hector and his people. Hector claimed the Range Rover was his because we had an agreement that once he completed work on the home, I would trade the Range Rover for that. But he didn't do anything he said he was going to do. I had already given him over $20,000 in cash and bought tools and materials totaling more than $50,000. He and his girlfriend refused to return my Range Rover. Inside the house, we found damage in several rooms, a bedroom used as a bathroom, all my tools gone, missing materials. I had just purchased interior doors, drywall, mud, trim, plumbing supplies. Police said it was a civil matter. I later learned that Hector was wanted for motor vehicle theft. And furthermore, he wasn't even a licensed contractor. I found my house in a state of disgrace, looking like it had been squatted in for several months. Their personal belongings left behind, including piles of drug paraphernalia scattered throughout the home. About a week later, through the grace of God, we did recover my Range Rover, disabled in Pueblo County, and we recovered it. I filed a complaint with Pueblo PD, and they did help me in the investigation of my pawned tools, some of my pawned tools. But there wasn't much else they could do. Then someone broke in again, stole the rest of our tools that we had there, and ripped out the new electrical box that we had in the garage. All this happened right before Christmas. I immediately contacted SafeCo and asked for an extension in our temporary housing, to which I was denied. They said these were not reasonable delays and they couldn't extend AEL benefits, even though I still have coverage available. An inspector came on December 31st and confirmed the home's condition. Later, when I asked SafeCo about recovering $25,000 in depreciation that spread across 2 claims, I was told they wouldn't be processing any of my depreciation until January 12th. So here we are on January 1st. We're now moving out of my temporary housing into a home that isn't finished or safe. Our kids will stay with my mom and Jimmy's mom until it's suitable. And as far as I'm concerned, the insurance company is holding out on $25,000 in depreciation until the 12th. That could really help me and Jimmy right now. We're left to hope for the best and wait for them to decide it's time to release what's rightfully ours. I can't help but feel targeted as a minority couple, as I can't think of any other reason why we would be going through this. This is why we're reaching out and asking for help. Please, we need help. This isn't a handout, it's a hand up, and we do believe in our community. So if you're a builder, plumber, roofer, electrician, skilled laborer, you can donate your time or help us. Donate materials and would mean everything to us. If you have a rental or a home that we can stay in until ours is repaired, that would be great so we can have our kids with us all the time. It's painful to see this when I have coverage, when I have insurance, but I want everybody to know just because you have insurance doesn't mean everything's going to be okay, especially if you have a company like SafeCo.